Can't get my cord out of the way. Welcome. It's Lori. Late Night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Craftin. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, coming to you from Wisconsin. And hopefully we'll have volume. Hopefully we'll have audio. Looks like we have our visual. Nice. I guess maybe restarting my modem and my router the other night has at least temporarily resolved my issues. Hello, Roz. Suzanne, welcome. Welcome, welcome. How is everybody? So we're going to believe it, or we'll pretend that I know, woohoo, right? We're going to pretend it's still Wednesday, May 27th at 11:59 p.m. Excuse me. I actually pressed the button to go live at midnight, and things are working right now. How about that? And I'm going to take my sweatshirt off because with my studio door closed, it got a little warmer in here. We had the patio door open, so it gets kind of cool. So, how was everybody's Wednesday, right? We're on Thursday now. When you're retired, you lose track of time sometimes, don't you? I'm so glad I could retire. It's almost Friday, Suzanne. Almost Friday. Well, I'm sorry things were so crazy. Let's just whiz through a couple of these quickie announcements. Most of you that are here already know the drill. But if you're not a demonstrator, if you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator for if you are in the United States. Check me out, latenightlory.stampinup.net. And don't forget, we have this awesome join offer where you've only got a couple more days, but when you join, it's $99. You pick out, hello, Tanya. You pick out $125 worth of product that you want. And if you are thinking of joining and you want some of the pre-order items, you'd be able to get those too. But I don't know if you can easily access them when you're signing on. So if you're interested in that, let me know. But you only have until the 31st. So for $99, you get the $125 worth of product, plus you get all 5 of the new in colors. These stamp pads are amazing. I love the new stamp pads. I've been wishing for like 2 years now that Stampin' Up! Would go to this style. And they have. Hello. Hello, Jeanette. So, I love these. Now, with the Barely Blush, I actually put a label on here because the print on here, when they do it with the white, is so light I could hardly read it. So I just put a little label on there for myself so that I don't have to struggle. But this starter kit is amazing. Okay. Don't forget, we have our, isn't this a cute little graphic? ChatGTP and I are becoming friends. I have resisted AI for a while, but I'm trying to embrace it a little bit so that I'm not totally left behind in the dust. But don't forget, we've got our sketch challenge Sundays. We've done 4 so far. Check out the Sunday nights if you're interested in participating. It's not too late. If you don't keep up on it every week, don't sweat it. It's not a competition. It's just where we can all be creative, right? So the sketch we're working on this week is sketch 39. If you're not sure how we get to sketch number 39 when we're only on the 4th week, check out one of the last Sundays, the May 3rd, 10th, 17th, or 24th. I kind of go over everything, but you can get to the sketch templates or the whole sheet on page 13 of your catalog. If you don't have a catalog, And if you're in the United States, let me know. I can hook you up. And if you do need one, just shoot me an email. All right. Or if you've got questions about anything, shoot me an email. Who did I miss? Who did I miss coming in? Somebody said hi, Allie. Oh, there is Allie. Okay, welcome. I missed your name. So we are nearing our product of the month for May. And let me tell you, the June product of the month is so adorable. I'm not going to show you. You just have to trust me on this one. It is adorable. It's a stamp set. There's 14 stamps in it. You can get it for $5 if you have a qualifying purchase, which in the United States is $75. It's adorable. All right. Stampin' Up! Also has another one of these craft classes coming up. This is a virtual class. They do it through a Facebook private group. It's on June 18th, but you can watch it, the replay on demand. You have access to it after the fact. This goes up for purchase on June 2nd. Next week, Tuesday. Yeah, June 2nd. You can begin purchasing that. And it's going to focus on the Scenic Coast Suite. So that's that beautiful shimmery paper and some dies and stamps. That'll be fun. And then don't forget, Paper Pumpkin for June is Bikes and Blooms. Lots of little ephemera pieces that look like they're going to be super cute. All right. And last but not least, let's remember our Craftin' Happy Mail group. All right. Lori's Little Bit of Craftin' Happy Mail group. We might call this Late Night Lovelies. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. But if you want to do this, send me an email and just let me know you want to be in the Happy Mail group. If you put Happy Mail in the subject line, I can sort it out real easy. I just need your mailing address. And by sending me your mailing address, you are letting me know that you are all right with me sharing your mailing address with the other people in the group. So far, we've got like half a dozen or so that have indicated that they want to participate. So this isn't really going to be a swap. It's just going to be us making cards with whatever we have. I don't care if it's new stuff, old stuff, Stampin' Up! Stuff, other stuff in your stash. Just make cards, and we're going to send them to each other because who couldn't use more Happy Mail, right? And we have all this stuff. Let's share it. Let's share our creativity. So it's not a formal thing. When I share the mailing addresses, you're on your own. Send to whoever, however many you want, okay? Mix it up, send to somebody different. Send it out every week, send it out every month. Whatever works for you. The idea is just to send each other some happy mail. So if you're interested in that, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But shoot me an email that says that you would like in the Happy Mail group. And we'll get that going. All right. Let me get this out of the way. Tonight, we're going to go super easy. Because I was tired today. I think my body is just healing. I was tired today. So I did take a nap. And then I took a walk. I took a long walk. And then after my walk, I was kind of sore. So I might have walked just a little too hard or a little too fast. I don't know. So we're going to do quick and easy one of two ways. We can do this pretty party kit, which is basically congratulations, birthday, celebration sort of thing. This is one of the new kits for May that I didn't open this earlier in the month because I thought my granddaughter might want to do it with me in a video. And we were busy the last weekend, and then we had our car crash, so we didn't craft after that. Or we can use this velvet Meadow paper. And remember I described this the other day. There's flocking on some of these white elements on every single sheet. We can do some quick and easy cards for this. So basically I would do like 6 quick and easy cards or the kit. Oh, yes, Suzanne, it was not pretty. It was not pretty. Maybe I'll post on my Facebook page. Maybe I'll post a picture of our car. It's been totaled. Somebody went through a red light and pretty much creamed us. But it could have been way, way worse. So MacMan got kind of beat up and bruised, you know, from airbag stuff and moving around and hitting the door in the console. Our granddaughter, luckily, was amazingly unscathed. The side curtain airbag panel went off and did its job superbly, protected her totally. And then I was next to her in the back seat, so I kind of got the worst of it because I didn't have any airbag deployment on my side. So all I had was that seatbelt junction, and I have a little fracture in my pelvic bone. So yeah, it was not a good weekend. So we want to do velvet cards. I don't see any other votes, so I'm good with that. The velvet cards are going to be quick and easy. I'm just going to show you these papers again. I showed them the other day when I got the stuff. I don't even remember when I got it. But I did get my pre-order stuff. Was that yesterday I got my pre-order stuff? Oh, and I showed just 2 things. I'll give you a sneak peek again. I don't know if everybody was here last night, but look at these. Look at these. Can you see how cute those are? The bats have faces, the ghosts have faces. These are adorable. These are in the pre-order that goes live on July 1st. Unless you join my team or are a demonstrator on your own, then you have the ability to pre-order now. And then this beautiful black shimmery ribbon. That's gorgeous too. That's a 3/8 inch ribbon. Those are 2 of the pre-order things I got. The papers are adorable. There is in the pre-order or in the July online exclusives that demonstrators can pre-order now. There is something for everybody. I really think Stampin' Up! Hit it out of the park. There is all occasion stuff. There's Halloween, there's fall, there's Christmas. It's awesome. So we'll be doing Christmas in July with some of the new things. And unfortunately, I have another pre-order that I'm getting ready because there's just so much stuff that I wanted and you can't get it all at once. So hello, Juju. So thank you, Suzanne. Yeah, we're doing all right. I said yesterday, yeah, we ran some errands. Well, I'd like to say we ran errands, but it was really a slow walk for both of us. So we're doing all right. It could have been a lot worse. So here are, well, Roz, you didn't really miss anything except that there was a vote for the Velvet Meadow paper. I want to make sure I called the right thing. There's so much new stuff. But Allie, isn't this velvet paper? Did you open your package? There's just flocking on some of the white elements. So we are going to just make some quick and easy cards. I'll show you how quick you can make like 6 cards. So the back side here looks like basic beige to me. We've got, this has flocking. And again, it's the white pieces that are like the polka dot-ish pieces, like maybe Queen Anne's lace. Is that supposed to be in there? I don't know. Yes, it is very soft. It's not thick. It's very low profile, but it has such nice texture, and I am a big texture person. Here's some more that's got, I think that's basic beige, or it could be crumb cake. Let's see what the colors are here. Basic beige, berry burst, bubble bath, cloud cover, daffodil delight, and peaceful pine. Okay, so flocking on the whites, flocking again on all of the white here has flocking on it. And then this is the cloud cover background, and it's kind of a floral-ish. Now this is a peaceful pine with just a foliage thing, and then the white flocking makes a kind of a floral foliage design on there. And the back has more of the cloud cover. Oh, thanks, Jeanette. Yeah, I was walking at the scene and it's like, oh, my back hurts. Well, it's very small. I think what probably happened is when I shifted and hit the seatbelt junction, because we were all belted in, I think it probably just made my pelvic bone go like this, and then the very top of that iliac bone has a crack in it. So no surgery, no nothing unless things get worse, but pretty much just take it easy, keep walking, and it'll get better, hopefully eventually. But our granddaughter was pretty shook up about it, but she knows now we get a new car, so it's okay. So this one's really pretty too. And the white, there's some white flocking in the center of the flowers, and then there's some little white flowers in the background as well. And then more of the cloud cover. And this is the sheet that I thought we could just make a bunch of little card fronts. They'll all be, well, we'll have 2 each of 3 different designs. So that's going to be my quick and easy. This is a nice little hashtag kind of, I don't know what else to call it, kind of a tweed, an open tweed with the cloud cover and white. So I think we're going to start with this one. This one is really bold to me, but I think it would make a fun bag to give to somebody. I think it would make a fun bag. So let's just see how quick we can do 6 cards. What do you think? So we're just going to do a bunch 4, 4, and 4. And then we're going to do 5 1/4. We'll flip and do 5 1/4. Whoops, I almost did 5. This would be a nice little piece for maybe a sentiment. Yeah, the worst about something like that is just getting over being tired. Because I think, your body takes so much energy to just heal. Yeah, kind of a one-sheet wonder, but I'm not being very creative with it. I could probably get another sheet and do a better one-sheet wonder. A couple of these are, we must have been just a smidge, yep, a smidge wider than 12 inches. Because we're about a 16th inch over. Sometimes that happens where from the paper mill, the paper is just a smidge big. So we'll just cut that off. I noticed it right away when these weren't. Oh, Roz, I'm sorry. I know how you feel though. All right, so let's do this. And then let's get, so we're going to have, let's see how our designs are. That's there. Is that there? I don't know. Yep, that one's there. Oh, 2 of these, and these are the same. Whew, I'm all right. All right. And I guess that maybe kind of goes like, not that it matters. It's something like that. So I thought we could do maybe a berry burst card base. Oh, you're having storms, Roz. I didn't realize that. Well, hopefully your storms aren't too severe. So I thought we could do berry burst. We could maybe do peaceful pine. And did we? I don't remember what we said that yellow was. Is that Darling Duckling or Daffodil Delight? Daffodil Delight. So let me go get some of those cardstocks. We got Berry Burst, Peaceful Pine. Maybe a cloud cover. Daffodil Delight, right? We could do basic beige, but I think that might be a little dull. That might be dull. We'll see. Basic beige. Now we may end up cutting some of these down, but let's just see what we can come up with. So these have a background that's probably hard to see. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. So the background might be kind of hard to see. Does anybody have this paper besides Allie? But there's like this little hashtag on the back of the that's in basic beige. And I just happen to have a piece that's got that Forever Plaid. I don't even know if that's still available as an embossing folder. It is. All right, so that's still available. So we could work that out as a mat. And then maybe, let's get our, make sure this is 8.5 by 5 1/4 or 5.5. So let's score it at 4 1/4. So what's everybody else working on today? That could go on there like so. And you know what we could do? Let's try something here. What if, I think that might be a little small. What if we did some spotlight on nature dyes? You're working on Father's Day cards, Jeanette? Nice. Prior planning prevents poor performance. I think that might be pretty. You could make it a little bit bigger though and take up more of that card front. Let's do that. We might do a different layer here. We'll see. You just never know. I'm gonna get my cart for Bossy Bessie. Because everybody probably doesn't need to see me die cut, right? We're not going to do any special techniques. So Allie, you're doing the cards for your live for tomorrow. That's good. Prior planning prevents poor performance. I usually just fly by the seat of my pants. But I think that's why you all like me, right? All right, and then Gone Fishing Suite. I had that and I hardly used it, which was a travesty. Hello, Yuda. Are you in and out already? Thanks for popping in. Yeah, Allie, those hashtags are very subtle. Very, very subtle. Maybe we go this way and cut this down. And then put a sentiment on it. That should probably go across the whole page though, huh? You think? Let's get another piece here that's big enough. And we'll do it about 2.5 inches. Let's get Forever Plaid. So this is the Forever Plaid embossing folder. Oh, I guess I ripped the label on this one. That's why it was in there funky. All right, so let's put this in and we'll see how this looks. We'll see if it's got enough brilliance. If it's too light, we might want to go another route. But this is a good way to use up your designer series paper and use up some scraps. So I think that will be better if it goes all the way across. And then you can also use up your stash. And I just happen to have some old Berry Burst ribbon. So this is retired, but we could put this around here. Put a cute little bow in here. The ribbon could show on the inside. We can put a layer in there. Let's give this a whirl, see what it looks like. Yeah, the Nature and Spotlight are very versatile. I hope they don't get rid of them anytime soon. They're still active, right? I have to look stuff up because I forget there's so much fun stuff. Yeah, Spotlight and Nature are still active. We got lots of little bits that were stuck in there, but I've taught my granddaughter how to just take your dies and kind of bounce them down like that, and a lot of times all your bits and pieces will come out. So there's that. All right, so let's put this on here. I think that might work. But I wonder, do we need to do something with that background? Does it need a little design? Let's do this Heirloom Boutique. Has some little flowers on here. And I think we're just going to stamp them on our page here. We could do them in Versamark. What if we did them in Versamark and then white powder? And that would kind of go with the flocking. And then that Berry Burst ribbon on there. I think that might be cool. Agreed, or should I go a different direction? Sometimes I just kind of get on a roll and then forget where we were going. Do our little embossing buddy there. And we're just going to randomly put some of these flowers on here. Some will go off the page. And then we'll put this other one. And I don't know why, but I always seem to tap like 3 times. I usually try to move my paper too so that I can get my images going in other directions, but that way I don't have to flip it around in my hand and potentially drop it on something. So let's make sure I get white and not clear. Let's just scoop some of this on here. I should probably get my little tray. That way if I miss, that's all good. I like to put the powder on heavy, let it soak in a little bit, and then, yeah, I knew I'd make a little bit of a mess, but I don't care. That's what the tray is for. That worked out really good. All right, so, yeah, I really made a mess here, but that's all right. It'll be fine. Just cover that up. And then what I like to do is take the cap off first. We might be using this more, but in case we don't. And then if it gets really crummy, I just wipe it out with some paper towel. But I'm not going to worry about it right now just because we're potentially going to do more. And let's get baby Hank. Baby Hank is named because I stole the name from Juju. She's got a big Hank. He's an industrial size one that could burn your house down, I think. All right, I just have a baby Hank, and I even put his name on it. So that's thanks to Juju. And let's just open this up and start. I'm going to put this on mute so that you don't have to listen to my heat gun. I've seen him get really heated up. I think he could burn your house down. All right. So let's go back and we'll use our bone folder again, but I'm going to flip this down so that I'm not scraping off any of that embossing. I guess we need a little bit more. I usually do my landscape cards hot dog so that they don't do this and flatten out, but I didn't today, so we're just going to have to go with it. Yeah, we're going to pull in the basic beige and the white. I don't usually use basic beige and white together, but they're here and I want to kind of tie all those colors together. I'm working on emptying out. I've got 4 bottles of glue here that I may just cut one open and use a brush to get every last bit out. But probably not tonight. And I'm not going to alley-oop this because there's design in there. Alley-oop is when we use our silicone brayer and smooth it all out. So let's go ahead and put our ribbon on before I forget. And let's see how I'm left-handed, so sometimes I tie funny, so we'll see how I do. Let's go like this. I do much better when I can use my bow maker, but sometimes that's just not possible. And then usually I try to tie upside down because my bows come out better. But I'm trying not to look all weird. That's a big bow just because the ribbon is thick, but I think it's going to be cute. And we're just going to manipulate this a little bit. I think a big old obnoxious bow sometimes is good. So we'll just have to make sure that we have it in far enough. I was kind of hoping that it would go sideways. I could probably use glue dots and make it go sideways, right? It should not fight me because I will win. We'll figure it out. I might use some glue dots. And then this can go here on some dimensionals. But I just wonder if originally I was going to use, where did they go? They're buried here. I was going to use some ephemera sentiments, but I don't know really that these are bright enough for these colors. So I think we're going to find a nice little sentiment, and I'm going to stamp it on there before I put it down on, before I put dimensionals on it. So let's find another stamp set. Oh, I have some more ephemera, but those are just images, so that won't work. Let me look for a sentiment here. Maybe we'll just use our cutest crew that we were working on the last few nights and just put on here, have the best day. I am going to get my Berry Burst ink because I think this one needs a bold sentiment, don't you? Let me go get Berry Burst. Oh, yeah. I forgot to change the chat thing there, too. Thanks, Juju. To all messages. I hope I don't lose anything. I've been really good about doing that, and I was so excited that we had audio and visual, and it was just like right around midnight. I was so excited. So hopefully we have not had any inappropriate participants. That ought to work good. So we're going to do something like that. right about there, I think. Nice. All right, I'm gonna close this. And then let's get this out of the way. We'll get some dimensionals on here. If anybody scrolls through and sees any inappropriate participants, let me know. I've been trying to watch that better. Whoops, took off the whole dimensional instead of just the top. There we go. So because I've got so much going in on here, my craft space has kind of been encroached upon. All right, so let's just do this. I think that's pretty straight. Oh, it's a little off center. I need to move it down just a smidge. I think that's super cute. What do you think? I'll go cut some of that off of there. Some of that off of there. And then let's find some embellishments. Butterflies. I think it needs butterflies. And I think maybe we'll use these peaceful pine ones, and that will help bring out the peaceful pine in the paper. Now, how simple was that? All right, one card down. All right, so let's see, what can we do with the next one? So let's do, so here's the thing. I know this ribbon isn't available anymore. So if you need a little swatch of ribbon, let me know and I can hook you up. I'd be happy to mail a swatch of ribbon if you need. Cute. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Let's go this one, maybe on Daffodil Delight. And then where's my embossing folder? I need to get that out of the way here. I like the texture. So if we do, let's do a berry burst. And I am going to get rid of some of my debris. Let me move these cardstocks out of the way. That'll give me a little bit more working space. Okay. If we do, let's do a score at 5.5. I know this looks like it should be portrait, but we're going to try something. This is the Velvet Meadow paper. Yes, Velvet Meadow. This is new. The white parts on here are flocked. So they're velvety, just the white parts, but every single sheet has flocked paper, has flocked parts on it. All right, and I'm gonna cut this at 4 1/4. All right, and then we're like this, right? So I've got 5.5 here. And I'm going to cut off 5.5, 2 3/4. So we're going to do a little itty bitty fun fold here. So let's go with this. We're going to cut this down to, let's do 4 1/8. And then if it's 2 3/4, if I go down to 2 5/8 maybe. We're going to put just a thin layer on there. I'm not going to glue it down yet because I'm not certain we're going to like this. And then this one I'm going to cut down. So most of the flocking is here and some here. So I'm going to cut this. We're going to trim off a little bit of that top flower. It is what it is. And if I need this to, so I need that at 2 5/8. I'm going to go like so. Okay, so this piece was here. We're going to flip it here. We're going to put this here. We can put this here. And then I think what we'll do is, let's find another of this paper. That's got the basic beige on the back. I don't want to use these 2 sheets because I'm going to turn those into a bag. I've pretty much decided. Okay, so we've got, I think we're going to use this one. The back of this sheet has some basic beige. So let's go ahead and trim that down. And we're going to go 2 5/8. I think that's what I did this at. Yeah, 2 5/8. And then I think we're at 4 1/8. And we're going to put this here. I think I'm going to trim this down just a little bit. I don't know if I like that plaid piece, or maybe we should use the Forever plaid on both sides. What do you think? Of course, you might not be able to see it really well. Let me zoom in a little bit more. So do you like the left side better or the right side better? Because if we like the left side better, I'll make another piece for here. But if we like the right side better, I'll make another piece for that. Let's just see what it looks like. So that can go there. I think that does look better. I probably should have cut a single piece so that the design carries over. And then when we open this up, we can put white pieces there. Maybe that can go on there to camouflage the inside too. We'll just cut this in half. So that's 4, let's go 2 1/8-ish. That'll work. That'll work. We'll figure it out. Oh, I could probably back this off a little bit now, huh? I think if the lines don't match, it'll probably be all right. Do you think anybody will notice? I'm kind of OCD that way. I'm going to do a new piece because it'll bother me. It will bother me. And 2 5/8. All right, let me run these through one more time. Just have to line it up here. Well, that kind of looks better, except it got a little crooked. I'm leaving it. I think it shifted when I closed the embossing folder. I'm just going to have to let it go. Just like the song. They're both just a smidge crooked though, so I don't think it'll matter. We'll make it seem like we intended to do it that way. All right, so that piece is on there. We can probably put this side up on dimensionals. And then what I want to do is that the rest of the words? You can't hold me back? We're going to put another little piece. We're going to cut a square. We're going to cut a rectangle or a square. We're going to cut a square. And we're going to go about 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches might not be enough. Let's go 2. 2 by 2. So I've got a 2 by 2 square. I'm going to cut it on the diagonal here. And when I have a small enough piece, I like to put the corner up between the 2 channels here and then line up the corners in the track. Drop it down in the middle and then go up and down. And then I'm pretty well centered. All right, so we're going to put this here, and that's going to hold just the corner of our card. And we're going to put, where did my little piece of, here we go. Here. So if I do 1 7/8 by 1 7/8, and then cut it down from corner to corner diagonally. That can go there. And then maybe we'll add a corner over there just so it doesn't look weird. Let's do another 2 by 2 and see what it looks like. Oh, I don't need to do another 2 by 2. I have it here. So if we put this here, I'll have to lift up that dimensional. So this one will go on top. And that one I think I'll put on the bottom. What do you think of that? Hopefully this is the right side for this size for the triangle. It's a very narrow border. I'm going to cut just a smidge off of this one. And I mean just a smidge. I'm going to go on the diagonal, because for whatever reason our border seems to have been narrower on this piece. So we'll just fix it. So I've done this fun fold in the past as well, just like this, where you just cut off half the front, flip it horizontally, and then there's your fun fold. But I've also done it where we've got the corner piece here to catch that fun fold. But I'm just going to do a little add-on piece here that I've not done before. In the opposite corner, just so it looks a little more symmetrical, because I like symmetry. Now, did anybody say, I don't see any comments here that anybody needed ribbon. I'm going to put that right up to the edge. That was pretty easy. That dimensional wasn't too bad to work on removing. And then I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals. Let's just trim this little corner here. It looks a little ragged. Just snip that off of there. I'm going to glue the right angle sides here. But then I'm going to put just a little itty bitty dimensional close to these other corners to lift it up a little bit. Allie is at Alley Cat's Crafts. So A-L-L-I-E, Cats, with an S on the end, Crafts. So Allie, you would like some ribbon. I can do that. Berry Burst, ribbon to Allie. If I don't write it down, I'll forget. I'll put it right on my keyboard. All right. And then this we'll put down here. You're welcome. Both of you. All right, so there's a little plaid fray going on here. I'm not going to stress over it too much. There. And then we need some white pieces to go in here. Oh, I was going to put, where did that piece go? Here. I was going to put this in here, just so it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb, like that dimensional is. And that'll give us plenty of room to write on the inside. I just like it to look a little bit more finished. So we need 4 1/8. 2 5/8 twice. Because that can go there. And I need another piece because this one will be too narrow. Those will go there. And then I think with the Berry Burst ink, I am going to find my scrap paper. What did I do with that? That's right, we'll just do it on here. I'm gonna stamp off on these. Put a flower there. Some more there. Put those on the inside. Nice little narrow border. Plenty of room to write. And then we need a sentiment for the front and some more butterflies. Wherever my butterfly, here they are. And I think we'll use the Golden Glow butterflies. And then let's find a sentiment. I wonder if there's one in here that would work. Hooray would work. That's got the right color. Thank you doesn't, because that's got the wrong color flower. Oh, here, let's just use thanks. That'll work. And these ephemera packs, the pieces are all self-adhesive. I think we'll just put it up there. All right, what do you think of that? Cute little fun fold. All right, 2 cards down. Let's do another. We can do this one without cutting off the flowers. Let's see what that looks like on cloud cover, maybe. That might be pretty. Or should we do Daffodil Delight? I was kind of thinking we would do different colors for them. Let's see what it looks like on Daffodil Delight. Ooh, I like that better. Let's go ahead and get this cut down though, because we'll need to cut down eventually. Okay. So we're going to do Daffodil Delight. I'm going to cut this down to a layer size. I'm going to go 4 by 5 1/4. And then here we'll do 3 3/4 by 5. Or maybe we'll do 3 7/8 by 4 7/8. Let's see how that looks. Oh, I cut that wrong. I guess we'll make this a little narrower. And maybe this a smidge narrower or shorter. Somehow my math numbers got messed up, but that's all right. It's all good. Nobody will ever know except us. All right, and then we just need a simple sentiment on there. We could do hooray. All right, so let's just glue these together. So I have my Scrappy Saturday this weekend. So I've got some gals coming to do the Heirloom Boutique scrapbooking kit. I don't know if I want to put that up on dimensionals or not. We probably should because I'm going to put this flat. Well, I should put it right side up though, right? So let's do dimensionals on this. Some of this embossing stuff out of the way. Reclaim part of my desk here. It does feel like it should be later in the week to me. And then I think what we can do is maybe, is that sentiment a little crooked? It was just a smidge crooked to me, I think. I'm gonna trim this. Where's my ribbon scissors? And let's cut this down the middle. And make a smaller bow and just see how that looks. Now I also wonder if some of these pieces might come out. And we can either make a fringy bow or use these pieces to make just like a thread bow, if that makes sense. Let's see how this looks. We got a little fringy bow here. You can put that there with some butterflies. Or we can do a non-fringy bow. You might not be able to tell the difference. So let me zoom this in a little bit more. So this little bow has fringe on it. This little bow does not, but it does have a wayward few threads there. What do you think? A regular bow or a fringy bow? I'm kind of leaning toward the fringy bow. And then I just wonder if we put these together and make some little loop-de-loops with them maybe, how that would look. These are just the threads that I pulled out. Any thoughts? I was thinking these could be a little wispy behind there, but when I tied them to restrain them, they didn't cooperate quite as well. I don't know that I like that. I think we'll do the fringy bow. Oh, Allie, I just saw yours come up, so yeah, cool. Fringy bow, here we come. Just gonna kind of roll up my glue dots a little bit. We'll do one on each side of the knot. If you do one just on the knot, then your bow a lot of times will go wonky. If you do it on each side of the knot, then it's a little more stable. And then I think we need some butterflies again. So often I get these embellishments and then I end up not using them. I Thanks for hanging out with us, Jeanette. Appreciate it. And then maybe we'll use the really light ones this time. Okay, 3 cards. So these are all the same piece of designer series paper so far. So we got a fun fold and then just a couple basic cards. So then we've got 3 more pieces. Oh, these, what ones? So this was the same. These 2 are the same. These 2 are actually the same segment of designer series paper. Who knew? They look pretty different, don't they? Same paper, different cards. All right, so let's take a look at this one and let's do, let's see what it looks like with Peaceful Pine. That might be pretty. Maybe a layer of bright. Let's give that a whirl. Thank you, Allie. I'm going to do 4 1/4 with a score. Seven 1/2. Then we'll cut this down to 5 1/4 and 4. And then this one, we'll take a 1/2 inch off the top and a 1/4 inch off of a side. I'm going to do an 1/8 inch off of each side just because I kind of like how the design lays out. Let's see how that looks. Oh, zoom out, sorry. Sorry about that. Well, something there didn't work out right. How did I cut that so short? 5. Oh, this should be 3 3/4 because I only did this to 5, not 5 1/4. So we'll do 3 3/4. And then this piece I need another 1/4 inch off as well. Am I still too close? Better? There. This will kind of be for my Packer fans, green and goldish. And then I'm going to cut another layer for the inside. So we'll do 3 3/4 by 5. So the Daffodil Delight for the back instead of the Peaceful Pine. I figure we'll try it with a few different colors. because we'll brighten it up when we put this on the inside too. And then, I don't want that one. I need another piece that's a basic beige. Let me find another piece of that basic beige. That's a different design from, this one has a different design than what's on the back. And the other ones are cloud covers, so we're gonna just go with basic beige cardstock for the inside. So if I do, I think we're 3 3/4. No, 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. Yeah, I just feel like when we've got a more muted color, we need to really brighten it up, especially with this paper. And then I think what I'll do is, let's get another piece of this ribbon. I'm going to cut it down the middle again. We'll wrap our layer. Or we could do not a bow. Let's look at it both ways. Because if we do this, we could wrap that around here. We could put this bow on there. Or we could not make a bow. And then we could leave the ribbon full width. All right, so trim this one down just a smidge. All right, so there's a dainty little ribbon and a bow, or a knot. What do you say? So I'm going to go ahead and glue these together while you contemplate our ribbon. Kind of like the knot, but I also like the dainty little bow. There we go. This paper is so fun with that flocking on there. So we're doing the knot. This is just my Stampin' Seal. I like the Stampin' Seal Plus better, but that's the one that I grabbed. And then more dimensionals. That one get kind of close to the end there. And here I'm kind of struggling with getting it straight because those dimensionals were sticking to my fingers. All right, so here I think I'm going to use the Peaceful Pine Butterflies because that's the background color. I think that'll just bring out the petals and the Designer Series paper. And then what did I do with my here? I think this is it. Yes. All right, and then for a sentiment, what if we take this and cut it down? Because that flower color doesn't work with our Designer Series paper, but the cloud cover and the white does. This is a little more challenging to fussy cut just because the paper is a little heavier. And then we'll cut out you. So quiet. All right, four down. Are we getting bored yet? Do you get the idea, or should we keep going? We have 2 more fronts. I think we're gonna do, keep going. Of course you would say that, Juju. Let's do, Berry Burst. We're going to score it 4 1/4. I'm going to cut it 5 1/2. And then we're going to decide what kind of layer do we want. Oh, that got crooked. How did that happen? I must not have had the paper in there quite straight. And I scored. Let's try cloud cover piece. Oh, I think that's kind of nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut these into strips because we can. So if we go, we're going to need these bordered. So if we do 1-inch strips, we're going to have to do 3/4 inch strips, I think. That actually goes like so. And then I'm going to do 1-inch strips with the cloud cover. So let's do 5 1/4 by 1. And then these we're going to have to trim down, I think, 1/4 inch. I'm going to take that off the top. So if we do this, we need the blue pieces just a little bit narrower because they're covering the whole thing. So 1 inch is just a smidge too big. So let's do 7/8 of an inch. So if I just take an 1/8 inch off of each. And then we'll have to take just an 1/8 inch off the bottoms as well. So let's take these and let's see if I can cut them all at one time for the 1/8 inch on the bottom. Wish me luck. And then 7/8. So we'll just cut an 1/8 inch. Juju, how'd you like your ruler? I sent that, right? So let's go ahead and lay this out now. I think this will work better. Oh, good. So I think that gives us a little bit more of the look that we're going for. Now, those will work. I think that'll be pretty. And then we'll have to find just another sentiment. All right, let's glue those. So far, the only piece that we've not really kept is the circle from, you know, the void from around there, and then this one extra piece here. But we're doing this all out of a 12 by 12. Not bad. So it's a good way to use up your paper if you're a paper hoarder. Or if you just want to cut up your brand new paper, like I did. All right, so let's lay these a little more carefully so that we're sure they're kind of all evenly distributed here. I think if we do from the outer edges first, then whatever we do on the inside will be fine. We did that double vision card not too long ago, kind of using this method with the strips, but some of them were up and some of them were down. And here we're just going to make them all go flat. Needs to be a little nearer the top. I guess I put this one up higher than I expected. I just like the look of having the continuous design but broken up. We're going to do hello because that yellow coordinates with this. If I can get the backing off. I'm just going to kind of center that over these panels. But a few little nibs I don't like here. And guess what? More butterflies. Let's use maybe the Golden Glow. Okay, 5 down. Ooh, we're getting there. We've got one more panel. So again, look at all these different cards, just kind of on the fly with a single piece of 12 by 12 paper. So this is our fun fold. That was the first one. I kind of like that one a lot. All right, and then this one. Let me think while I put some things away. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure I've got all my Spotlight on Nature dies put away. Let me think. I want let's try something here. I'm going to trim this. Let's see how wide this is. So this appears to be 3 5/8. All right, and we're going to go, will this work? I need to make it narrower. I need to take off another, about another 1/4 inch maybe. We are going to make this scalloped on the top. So I've got it through the die because I don't want to cut through the whole thing. I just want it cut on the top. And I'm going to try to stop partway down so that I don't get the ripple on the bottom part. So let me bring Bossy Bessie in here. We'll see how it works out. Because that you might want to see, right? Let's put our plate kind of where we want this to end. Kind of want it to end right about here. Voila. So there's really no mark. There might be a little mark from the top plate. And then I think if we use the next bigger die, we can maybe do a Daffodil Delight layer. Well, that is not Daffodil Delight. Got put in the wrong package. All right, so let's see, we need this to be we're going about 4 inches wide. Beautiful. All right, so I'll be right back. And then, oh, there was a little piece on the platform that showed. But this is going to be like so. And let's go ahead and maybe trim these so that they'll be flush with the bottom. I don't know where I'm going with this, but we'll see. We'll see what it looks like when we're done. thing we could do is, let's try one more thing here. I think that's the next biggest die, right? What if we made the top of our card scalloped too? I'll be right back. Now that one I'm going through 2 layers, so I'm going to maybe need to run it through twice. We'll see. Nope, just once. All right, so this did get a little bit more of the rim from the plate, but I'm just going to kind of use my bone folder. Look at that. That's pretty cute, I think. Now I think what I'm going to do is cut this down. How is your brother-in-law doing, Allie? I haven't asked about that lately. I apologize. I just want these edges to look like that's how I wanted them to be. He's about the same. Well, I'm sorry that you have all that running and caregiving to do. So these are going to go like this. And we're going to do a ribbon around here again, I think, with a little bow. And a cute little sentiment. So here's our bow. We already have one ready. Let's glue these together. I hope you have good sleep, Allie. And again, I'm putting this flush down at the bottom. This bottle of glue is on its last leg. Oh, and then I forgot to tuck the ribbon in there. Let's peel this off quick. I think I'm going to use this one. That was close. This one doesn't want to roll. I think I might be stuck. Or it might be, it's not empty. Let me get my plus. Okay, let's do a little bit more glue on here. And we'll do some glue dots for that bow. And then we'll be pretty close to done. We'll just find a sentiment. And I'll have to do a layer for the inside. With the scallop work going on there. I may just do that a yellow layer with white. Some little flyaway threads here from where I cut it in half. I'll just snip that off. There. Get some butterflies on here. We'll do the golden glow ones again. Don't want to lose that. So aside from just a couple of little scraps, we used pretty much that whole piece of 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. I think maybe I'll turn this one into a birthday card. Because there's a little self-adhesive ephemera pack piece here that says happy birthday. And we'll just put that lined up right above the ribbon so that we can still see all of the flowers. Oops, right side up would be good. All right, and then let's see about that inside. Let's get some of these things put away. So the sentiments tonight mostly came from this ephemera pack. That. This is the Sincerely Noted ephemera pack. They are all self-adhesive, which I love. All right. So I think this one I don't have an inside for. This one I don't have an inside for. So I've got a few insides to do. But that won't take long. I'll do that on my own time. So let's just spread these out. So this is all out of one sheet of the Velvet Meadow paper. Here's what we started with, and here's what we ended up with. So we've got the one fun fold, embossing, heat embossing, some die cutting to make a special shape. All different cards just from one sheet. So that's all I have for you. Thank you for joining me. I am going to call it a night. And we will see all of you next time. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget about our Sketch Challenge Sundays. Thanks, Juju. Sketch Challenge Sundays and the Happy Mail group. So if you want to be in that Happy Mail group, shoot me an email. Just in the subject line, put Happy Mail and then give me your mailing address. I will share those so that we can start in June. So until next time, everybody, happy crafting.